I've had a lot of time recently for personal reflection and to ponder even further, that dreaded four-letter word that we all should be living with and embracing: love. As many of you who have read my work and heard what I've had to say about it, you know that I struggle with it. I struggle with all of its facets, coming to have a better understanding of things through that. I'm not infallible. I make mistakes sometimes. And that is a part of the human experience. When you face yourself in the mirror and you number the mistakes that you've made in this life, you shouldn't live with an overwhelming amount of pain and suffering resulting from mistakes, as long as you don't repeat them and you work things out. It is true that there are a few things in life that are permanent, but when somebody you love passes away, there is a permanence in that, in that you have lost the physical form of someone you love and that you identify with. Over the last year, the deaths within our community have hit me very hard, because of the four that have passed, there were people in my life that there's no replacement for. And I understand that. As a shaman, through my own experience with death, and for those that don't know, I was out for 3 minutes a few years ago. I had a near fatal heart attack, and the doctors were very much aware that I was holding on for as long as I possibly could. That was a life-changing experience for me. I have struggled with my own issues as far as overindulgence in things and self-medication and a whole list of other things that really weren't healthy for me. As a part of my growing experience and what I had to discover and to really embrace life, I had to push myself to the limits on that. I know that to some may sound like some kind of excuse, and I am somebody that often quotes my father by saying excuses are the leaning post of fools. And while I play one and have, I'm no fool. I am somebody that deeply and passionately believes my own bullshit, if that's what it is. And as one of my more sympathetic correspondents put it one day, a 14-year-old girl, she's like, you wouldn't be who you are if you hadn't gone through what you have. And she said, and if it's bullshit and it makes you a better person, it's really good bullshit. I have obviously got an aftermath behind me of people that were a part of my life that are no longer. And there should be no mystery in that. You sometimes meet people in your lives that for that moment are very important to you. And they're there for a reason. They're there as your teacher. And when the lessons are over between the student and the teacher, the student graduates. Teachers leave our lives. They're in there for a while, and then they're gone. And it is the most fulfilling thing for me, my role as a teacher within this tribe. I am overjoyed that I have made it for as long as I have, living against some pretty impressive odds. I try to do the best I can with what I've got. And it's what I'm always telling my younger students. I'm like, hey, you know, when life hits you with a brick, you get up, dust yourself off, and look to the horizon for the hope that's there, for the hope within yourself. And that is something that we always must maintain as an infinite fire. It is hard, okay, to live, to fully live. To merely exist is spitting in the face of your ancestors and that which made you. And I look around my life, even at people that I don't care for too much, praising everything that created them. Some of the people you encounter in your life bring out the worst in you. And those are the people that after you have been exposed for a while to them, you have got to just cut your losses and back away from it. I remember as a child, when my first year in boarding school, I was 7 years old, and I was sent to a school where I was out in the woods with people that didn't get me and that I didn't get, and it was a very lonely place. And I look at 7-year-olds in my life, and I remember, and I'm like, wow, I was too young. They're too young. The village and community that it takes to create good and healthy beings is extremely important. You've got to take the time to give a shit about other people in this life, especially the young and the elders. Because with the young and the elders, they are closest to God. Now, I know that there are people that get disturbed with some of my intellectual curiosity when it goes into the tribes of Abraham, or the wicked triad, as some people refer to it. You know, it's like it disturbs me from time to time when I am in the presence of somebody that is a member of the tribes of Abraham, and they bring up the subject of Satan. And in the past, I have reacted very harshly with this, because what somebody is saying to you when they're calling you a devil worshiper or being, you know, of Satan, etc., they are basically saying to you that you're an abomination, that you are unworthy of love, that you are a wicked and evil person because you don't believe the way that they do. There is certainly redemption in the community that we are a part of. You see people, and I have to put myself at the head of the line on this, who have stumbled and made some pretty monumental mistakes. But I have tried, always, to reach back for the love that powers this engine that is me. I'm never really sure whether I'm on the right track or not, and the universe will sometimes kick my ass to tell me that I'm off track. I have a very coy and glib relationship at times with the divine that helped to create me. I get frustrated, like everyone else, because I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? What is the message here? I'm missing it. Of course, when I ask for an omen or a sign, you know, as I did when I was putting in the foundation for the Gossamer Court, and it was still in the early years, and I wanted to find a mascot, and it became Ravi the Pink Elephant. And it's funny because the comment of a peer who is basically, you know, a ballless wonder trying to say that I was a big drunk and I shouldn't be taken seriously. And he decided to very cleverly disguise what he actually wanted to say to me in a story about the pink elephant in India. So I decided upon hearing this that the pink elephant was going to be the symbol of the Gossamer Court. And I know to this day that it irritates him when we have our banners flying. And I don't really care. But I thought about it and I'm like, it is a symbol of, reaching for this mythical creature. Not yet. There's no such thing as a pink elephant, but in time. And I remember struggling with trying to find a mascot for the Gossamer Court. And I was saying to some friends of mine after we left Cosm, I'm like, I'm not really sure about this pink elephant idea. But I said, I think that this is going to be the symbol for the Gossamer Court. And as we're walking, my friend Corinne pointed on the side of the street, and there was a banner out in front of a nightclub with about 50 pink elephants on it. I was like, well, that solves that. And everybody was just laughing because I have often said that when I'm asking for a sign from the gods as to what the right course is, they love hammering me with like overstatement on the omens. It's about the capacity to ask for help. Prayer is very important. Introspection is very important. Looking within yourselves to see things, not necessarily those things that bother other people, but those things that bother you because you know it's not the right course to be taking. That there's something amiss, there's something wrong with the direction you're going in. And that's why it's important to look within yourselves. I lost my father when I was 14 years old, and he was my best friend as a child. And I didn't think that I could go on without him. And a part of my self-discovery was dealing with that grief, and it took me 25, 30 years to finally put it to rest. We lose people in our lives that we love very much, and it's a sadness. And it's one that you just have to bear. But it's important for us to talk to our ancestors, to talk to those that have passed before us, because really they talk to us all the time, and it's rude not to answer back. I've lost very significant people in my life over the last year. And at first I was missing the point. Be grateful for the time that you have with one another. I am not going through some sort of reinvention right now, and I've always resented it when people say, so-and-so reinvented themselves. No. This has all been a part of me for a very long time. And I look at life with a degree of healthy resignation because there are things that I absolutely cannot do. As magical as I can be with a lot of the things that I do, there are some things that I have absolutely no control or power over. And death is one of them. I realize that I rabbit trail, when I'm trying to get to the point of something. But this year, watch me. Don't listen to anything that I have to say. Just watch. I am reaching in to myself, and I am doing my best to bring to light everything that this life has created within me. Trying to downplay the bad while embracing the good. And I am very fortunate and blessed to be alive and to have the people in my life that love me and care about me. and overlook my shortcomings while being grateful for the strength and goodness within. And I can't take credit for that, other than the introspection with myself. No, at my best, I am a reflection of the finest people that I have encountered in this life. And I am very blessed to have the circle of friends that I do. And I love you all very much. Thank you. This is Youth the Fairy King. Have a wonderful life.